Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. The expectation for the Here As in Heaven, the Elevate 2025. The very first thing up, this is what I want everybody to know. Expecting you.
You just applauded because I showed up. Maybe that's what it's all about. Because the thing is, we have too many people in this country who are so selfish, so narcissistic, that they don't always show up, do they? They just kind of show up any old time, late all the time, and nobody cares. And they're never angry, and they're never sad. They're laughing. Have you ever seen these people, guys, coming in, hey, running late? Story of my life. Yeah, we'll get a new chapter. The one that says you're on time. What do you mean story running late? That's what always kills me about people that are late all the time. They always use verbs to describe how fast they really weren't going, to give the illusion they were really trying. That's why you always hear them say things like running late. It's an oxymoron. It's like they're telling you, I'm going to be late as fast as I can. It makes no sense. Running late. Hey, if you were running, you should have made it.
So it's very obvious. Don't be late. I know everybody says, oh, they could go ahead now. They could go eat, and I was just going to wake up late, and I'm just going to go there because, hey, I don't even have an event. I don't have an event. There's no reason for me to go to the breakfast or lunch or dinner. I'm expecting everyone to be on the dinner table, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And don't be late. If there's an activity that we need to support, don't be late. Show up. Don't be selfish. No, I'm not going there. No, I'm expecting everyone to be present if there's a discussion. Let all things be done decently and in order. That's why I am discussing this, so we have orders. That there's expectation. This is to have fun, but at the same time, there's expectation. As you can see, this is an example of our event in 2022 where we have actually have a schedule. And we created the schedule Friday night. So on Saturday morning when we have breakfast, now we discuss things. We talk about, hey, Uncle Butch, I'm not going to be joining that today. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'm not going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do this. So we talk during breakfast. So we created this schedule because everybody is in the breakfast. We have dinner together and we discuss what we expect. So we know each other. This is how it should be done. There should be a schedule. We are going to eat together as a group. Don't be late. We're going to eat breakfast at the same time. We're going to have lunch at the same time. We're going to have dinner at the same time. Why? Why should we be there? Why should we be there? I don't even have an event. I just came to this Elevate just because I was told to come in and have fun. No, even though you're not really athletic and you don't have any skill that you think you don't have a God-given skill, you're still going to go there and have breakfast. You're still going to be there with lunch. Now, to answer that why, it's the best time to discuss any changes of our daily activity. Because your activity, we as a chaperone, we want to see you. We want to know what activity you're having. So during breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we could talk about things. That is why. Now, daily second of the agenda, keep it clean. Okay? Clean after yourself. After you eat, clean the table. I've been noticing every Wednesday for the past few weeks that the youth are actually cleaning the table now, which is a big improvement. It's a really good improvement. Although on Sunday, I can still see a lot of leftover stuff in the youth group room upstairs, and it really make me worry because of those mice that we have infestation in the church. But anyway, let's go back to Elevate. Clean the table, please. The bed that you sleep on, clean it before you go out. I'm expecting that to everyone, that they should be cleaning their area. You will have a shared dormitory. This is a good practice for you. After the Elevate and we are about to leave, look around. If your roommate forgot something, we are a family, we're a group. Make sure nothing's left behind. So keep it clean. Be responsible for everybody's tidiness. You could remind somebody, hey, your room is not clean.
How to politely tell someone to clean up after themselves.
Very good advice.
A filthy environment is a place nobody likes to be in. No matter who you are and how much you hate cleaning up, anything can get up to a point where you have to start tidying up the place, but some people take a little bit longer to go past that threshold. So, this is how it's done. 1. Led by example. The very first thing you should do when you want people to clean up after themselves is to clean up after yourself. 2. Be kind. A short explanation could be the difference between living in filth and having a clean room. For example, look, I don't want to be the bad guy here, but we need to keep things clean. 3. Keep things non-confrontational. Think about it like this: you have to ring the bell before you decide to kick the door down. 4. Don't make it about someone specifically. In order to keep things non-confrontational, you need to avoid addressing people specifically. You want to avoid things like, you're always leaving a mess, or, you never clean anything. 5. Make it about uncleanliness in general. Try to make a point about the situation in general and avoid pointing fingers. You don't want to come off as passive-aggressive, you want to sound neutral. 6. Explain why cleaning up is important. For example, if the kitchen is a mess, you can explain why it's important to keep plates, knives, and the like as clean as possible at all times. 7. Prepare a basic speech if you'd like, but don't go over-prepared. You don't want to perform a monologue, you're simply asking someone to clean up their mess. Be kind, be non-confrontational, and be brief.
So, let's review that. How to politely tell someone to clean up after themselves. Sounds so nice. Lead by example. Be kind. Keep things non-confrontational. Don't make it about someone specifically. Make it about uncleanliness in general. Explain why cleaning is very important. And prepare a basic speech if you like, but don't go overboard. So now let's review all 7 of us. I don't believe every single one of this from 1 to 7. I don't believe this. These are for weaklings. This is written by psychologists that they think you had to do this to be correctly. And believe me, these are for weaklings. And I do believe all these youth are not weaklings. Lead by example. I don't have to show you example. You know why? Because I do believe every one of you knows what clean is. All I want you to know that what my expectation of being clean. Keep things non-confrontational. Believe me, I'm a direct person. I will tell you, hey, Aaron, clean your table. You still have some dirt in it. That's it. And I don't have even to explain. Straight. It's not confrontational. It's a direct expectation for somebody and getting their attention. Don't make it about someone specific. If I'm not specific who's not doing it, then they're never gonna know. What if one of you guys just clueless, was born to be clueless? Then I had to really tell you specifically, hey, Gio, I know you've been cleaning your brother's mess during Wednesday, but we're in Elevate. I wish you could do the same thing, right? So what are you doing? Okay. Okay, checking tables right here. Oh, look at that. Nice and messy. Right there. In the floor. Oh, Andrew's table is clean. Ah, that's nice. I cleaned that area, so I know that. Who was eating here? Camry, is that you?
I did not eat.
Okay, that don't start. I don't need a mess here.
Who cleaned it up then?
But you messed up so bad.
Oh, so it was clean now?
No, it's not clean.
Make it about uncleanliness in general. No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you which one is not clean and which one is not dirty. I'm going to tell you which dirt did you left in the table. I even asked Donna and Anjo to clean all the mess at one point. And I'm not expecting my brother-in-law Jake to clean up all the mess of the youth. So in this Elevate, there's no Uncle Jake following up the mess or no Auntie Ryan to clean up the mess or Coach Gerald to be looking at your dirt. Clean it. I'm gonna make it very specific. I'm not gonna say in general. I'm gonna tell you, clean this one that you left. The bed that you left on there is not clean. Clean it. Come on. Simple as that. Good practice for a good future for yourself, right? Explain why cleaning is so important. Really? Is that how naive the youth nowadays? They don't know what cleanliness is all about. I'm not gonna do that. Prepare a basic speech if you'd like, but don't go overboard. I'm not gonna be making a speech anymore. All I'm gonna say is, the table is not clean. Let's clean it. That's it. You're not gonna hear all this instruction anymore. You're not gonna hear it anymore. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna say, Caitlin, remind this young lady what we discussed. What did I expect? Kalaya, remind this guy to do this. You're not gonna hear it from me directly because I'm just gonna let it flow. You're not gonna. So, because if I'm gonna follow this, people says, "Oh, Butch, if you're not doing this, you're gonna destroy the self-esteem of the youth when you don't do this." Well, this is my answer about self-esteem in the next video.
Kids are the ones that suffer because in the schools, they don't know what to do because they can't change the kids, so they just try to change the law. Self-esteem, that's where it comes from. Self-esteem from psychiatry. Psychiatry from Freud. Freud was an atheist. Self-esteem, it sounds like a great idea. Let's all do that. I must love me. I must love only me. And it's good to care about yourself. But where does the esteem come from? You see, if you just love yourself based on yourself, it leads to tyranny, ego, pride. Where does it come from? I'll tell you what Jesus said. Remember him? The guy we used to go to for absolute ethics and moral in this country? He said, you want to have esteem? You must always esteem others first. You must always esteem others first. You'll have love. Remember the 10 Commandments, the very thing we use as the fulcrum for all the laws in this country that you can't even put in front of a state building anymore? First commandment God Almighty said to humans was, you will love me first. You will put me first because when the creator of matter tells you you matter, then you have purpose. And then you have self-esteem. But they don't get it. They don't get it.
So, self-esteem, you build up your self-esteem by doing the right thing. It's not because somebody told you something and your self-esteem go down. It's the action of individual. It's not because somebody hurt my feeling and my self-esteem goes down. Your self-esteem goes down because of the things that you did to yourself. So, don't be late. Clean up to yourself. Do I do favoritism? Answer. Do I play favoritism? No, I don't. It's in my nature and upbringing to acknowledge those who do the right thing so others can follow their example. Like I told you, Rory, I was expecting him to upscale his game because he did a good job in 2023. He was able to show that he is a real man who can do the right thing. I just don't know what you've been talking about in 2024, but I am expecting him. So I straightforward. I'm expecting people to do the right thing. I'm also my godson who is in San Diego that you're going to meet. I'm expecting more from him, but I'm straightforward, but I don't do favoritism. I will tell you what I'm expecting from you to do. Okay? I just say it the way it is. Cell phone rules. Oh, this is the best part. Don't take it personal when I start speaking about the truth about cell phone.
Right, even our technology, which is a beautiful thing, can be misused for just ourselves and our selfishness. I see it with the kids all the time. See with the kids and they're texting. Look at my texting. Look, I'm talking to people. You know, there was a time when you got in a crowd like this, you had to go up and meet everybody, meet a community. No, I got my own person right here, my own hand. I don't want you. I just got my texting. And they just are so smug. Look at me. I can text so fast. I can do like 1 billion words a minute. Oh, how did you survive without texting, Father? And I'm like going, hey, you're typing on a telephone. They don't even make typewriters anymore. You're going backwards. Here's how we used to communicate before they put a thinking keypad on a phone. Hello? Yeah, you could actually hear the words. Why? Because I don't want to listen to your stinking conversation. This is what you don't understand, kids. When I was thinking young, we wanted to talk in front of a bunch of people. We could, but you had to do it in a special place called a phone booth. You had to close the stinking door so I didn't have to hear your stinking insipid conversation. And if you had the audacity to want to walk around amongst the rest of it, you couldn't, because we put a leash on it so you couldn't get out of the box.
So I'm using Brad Stein video who claimed to be a Christian. Yes, I am. It's the only thing I like with Brad Stein is that he actually go head on jokes about the reality of the world, what's going on. And it makes sense. You know, that's why I like him. So probably one of you will say, why not I use something else, like an expert, you know? So I'm using an expert right now. He's a human evolution example, how cell phone affects us. And that's what kind of, I don't know, that's what most of you guys wants to pay attention, those advisor guru in TikTok or YouTube. So I'm going to use this guy. He is a born Jew. His mom and dad is Jew, and he become an expert on advice.
We have a responsibility as marketers to help our clients use technology to bring people together. We have a responsibility as companies to offer the people who work in our companies a sense that we're helping them build their confidence, that we're helping them overcome their addictions, that we're going to teach them patience, and we're going to teach them how to build strong personal relationships. We don't have a choice. We have a higher burden upon us. And there's so many little things that we can do that we are failing horribly at. That are so easy. Let me show you one. Can I borrow someone's phone, please? Anyone? Thank you. Okay, there is a subconscious reaction to these devices when we use them. Okay? What if I were to hold my phone while I'm talking to you? I'm not checking it, it's not buzzing, it's not beeping. I'm nothing. I'm just holding it. Do you feel at this moment that you are the most important thing to me right now? No, you do not. Because there is a subconscious reaction we have to the device. When it is out, it makes the people around us feel that they are less important. So when we're walking down the halls in our offices and somebody says, hey boss, can I ask you a question? You go, sure, what's on your mind? We've just told them they're not that important. Or we can go, sure, what's on your mind? And if you don't have a pocket, find a shelf, put it on the shelf, come back and say, sure, what's on your mind? When we show up to a meeting, or a lunch, or a dinner, with our colleagues, our clients, or our friends, or our families, and we put the phone on the table, we have announced to everyone in the room that they are not that important to us. And by the way, putting the phone upside down is not more polite. My favorite one is when the meeting or at a lunch with someone that the phone will ring and the caller ID will pop up and they will go, I'm not going to get it. Oh, so magnanimous. Oh, I'm lucky to eat with you today. Or they could just put the damn thing away. You can tell how addicted we are. When somebody pulls out their phone when you're with them, how uncomfortable does that make us feel? You're walking down the street with someone, they pull their phone out. We feel stupid, so what do? We pull our phones out. We're so addicted. Somebody goes to the bathroom when we're at dinner, and what do we have to sit there by ourselves? God forbid we should look around the room for 5 minutes. We pull our phones out. Meetings, awful. What do we do when a meeting happens, right? Everybody's sitting waiting for the meeting to start. Bob's running a few minutes late. Bob's here? Okay, start the meeting. Do you know when relationships are built? All that in between time. Thank you very much.
One of the Elevate activity or Elevate events that I attend to a few years back, the speaker is already talking about the Elevate youth group is supposed to build and be around Christians and mingle, and because we have a common denominator. But recently, I go to this event and I see a lot of youth are in their phone, but there are at least more youth that are actually engaging. Now, they're not in the phone. And I want our church to be like that. We're going to go there, we mingle. Our relationship, I'm going to get to know all this youth because we are going to sit down, have dinner, breakfast, lunch. We're going to sit down and talk. And even though I haven't seen Cash for a long time, we have that relationship built because we were talking during breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I made sure Rory's group is with me. So if you have a cell phone addiction and you're just in the phone instead of talking, I have this young lady in a few years back. We were talking about the Bible quiz, and she just pulled out her phone in front of me. I give her an excuse on that one because she was not there when I give this presentation, but I remind her I did not appreciate what she did. Pulling out that phone, and then she put her headphone. Like, really?
Because we're allowing unfettered access to these dopamine-producing devices and media, basically it's becoming hardwired, and what we're seeing is as they grow older, too many kids don't know how to form deep, meaningful relationships. Their words, not mine. They will admit that many of their friendships are superficial. They will admit that their friends, that they don't count on their friends, they don't rely on their friends, they have fun with their friends, but they also know that their friends will cancel on them if something better comes along. Deep, meaningful relationships are not there because they never practice the skill set, and worse, they don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with stress. So when significant stress starts to show up in their lives, they're not turning to a person, they're turning to a device, they're turning to social media, they're turning to these things which offer temporary relief. We know, the science is clear, we know that people who spend more time on Facebook suffer higher rates of depression than people who spend less time on Facebook, right? These things balance us, right? There's nothing wrong with social media and cell phones. It's the imbalance, right? If you're sitting at dinner with your friends and you're texting somebody who's not there, that's a problem. That's an addiction. If you're sitting in a meeting with people you're supposed to be listening to and speaking, and you put your phone on the table, face up or face down, I don't care, that sends a subconscious message to the room that you're just not that important to me right now, right? That's what happens. And the fact that you cannot put it away is because you are addicted, right? If you wake up and you check your phone before you say good morning to your girlfriend, boyfriend, or spouse, you have an addiction. And like all addiction, in time, it'll destroy relationships, it'll cost time, and it'll cost money, and it'll make your life worse.
So let's just discuss cell phone use expectation, shall we? But before that, let's watch this video again. Another video.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Say, excuse me, sir. Uncle Boots, that's not what I'm trying to imply when I have my headphones on my head. Yeah, really? That's what I see. It like this or like that, it would not make any difference. Where could you find Pastor Tim is talking in front of the Northern Cal youth while all the Vallejo kids are looking in their phone, sitting down like a monkey, their feet like this, one sitting, louching like really like that, like a gangster. Are you serious? Our pastor is talking, and you are in your phone, you have a headphone. What a shame. Big time. I'm so disappointed seeing that. So, people would say, oh, Butch, you had to be politically correct with all this youth, because we got to be, in touch with their feeling. This is my answer about political correctness.
This is the problem, I say. This is what I'm talking about. It's about the idea of political correctness because it's despicable. It's despicable. And yet, we can fix it because nobody made a law that you have to be politically correct. We decided to go along with some couple little wussy whiners. You know how you stop political correctness? You don't do it. Somebody says, you've offended me. And you say, I don't care. Game over. I win. Remember, folks, if they're offended by truth, it's their issue. That's what I'm talking about. You have to be responsible for what you believe. And as an American, you have the right, the privilege, and the expectation to speak the truth at all times. And not blame others. Because you got your failing truth. Crying out loud, it's ridiculous. That's what we become.
So let's just discuss cell phone use expectation, shall we? Device use and guidelines. No cell phone during meals. Let's enjoy our time together. Headphones should also be put away. No cell phone or headphones during evening service. Stay present and be engaging. Use your device only during free time. There is a free time because we're going to be discussing that in our breakfast, in our dinner. Uncle Butch, I have a lot of free time tomorrow because I don't have a game and I already done all my games. So I have basketball. So you have a free time and the next basketball that we're going to watch is around 4 o'clock. So I have free time. Yes, you got to have free time. You can have your phone. And I don't even need to see you. As long as I know where you're at, I'll be fine. We'll be fine. Support our team at the event. Pay attention. Be present and make lasting memory instead of just staring at your phone. Communication with chaperone. A few years back, I text my daughter, and she have an iPhone 8, so her battery went dead immediately. But the other two people that she with received the text, but they never told her. They never told her that I tried to look for her. So if you receive a text and you're aware that the person did not receive it, tell the chaperone, text the chaperone, say, hey, Uncle Butch or Pastor Tim or Coach Gerald, you're texting, let's say, Jeremy, and he is doing something. He's in a bathroom, he's in a shower. Let us know. So let us understand this. A reminder about cell phone use. My phone can be addictive, pulling me away from God. Satan wants me to be distracted. That's definitely, every time I see you in your youth group and your head is down, you are a distracted youth. And I don't want to see that. It can keep me from forming real relationship and trap me in the bubble of familiar people. Do I truly know them? Because you're not gonna know them. I just know them because they're nice and talking to me, and I'm a pretty person, I'm a good-looking person. So, but you don't really know them because you are addicted to your phone. So you don't have that meaningful connection. If you are addicted to your phone, I don't think you have a meaningful relationship. Prove me wrong if I see. I like to observe from the distance, and so far I don't see anybody really, really addicted. I could see still youth listening to Pastor Tim and Ryan when they're speaking, but there's so many distractions. The phone just beep and then they get stuck on the phone. I subconsciously imitate what I see online, which can lead to self-doubt and sadness. If I can't achieve what I see on my screen, I might start believing I'm not perfect creation of God. Exactly what Satan wants me to think, It is obvious the way how you dress, the way how you talk. I got some youth that talk a lot. They sound really smart and their idea about how life works. But I've heard it in YouTube actually. Like, yeah, your idea sucks. Like, the one that you're talking about is not the real life experience that you have, because I don't see you interacting a lot with people. You are in one room youth group and you did not know anybody. You go to Elevate and come back here and you don't know a single person. You did not make friends. Because you're stuck in your phone. You didn't have that relationship. So once you start interacting with other youth, in that Elevate, you learn something from them, and they learn from some perspective from them. Even in a glance, we're playing ping pong or something like talk. Get rid of the screen. This picture is a 1970-60 kind of ads. Let's go back time machine. Way back in the 60s and 70s, doctors, nurses, they realized there are some high increase of people having lung problem, emphysema, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and all these things. And these are people that are considered healthy, vegetarian, marathon runner, doctors, and nurses, but they're having lung problem. And by the time before the end of 70s, most medical field come to realize it is linked to smoking. But nobody wants to go and publish this because it's not officially a research, because people are so scared that because America and other countries, they want an evidence-based study. There's supposed to be a research before you claim that smoking is bad for you. So nobody can really say, hey, smoking is bad for you, or else they're going to tell you you're a quackhead, Smoking is not bad, Even a dentist is give your throat a fresh air. Really. But in mid-1980s, one politician who most of his family died because of lung problem, start demanding a funding from the government of research about smoking. And some tobacco company, like this company, the Camel, the Marlboro, and other tobacco companies, start helping this research. And before the end of 1980s, God and behold, they found out that it does cause cancer. And people get smarter, lawyer gets smarter, and the very first thing that they sue, even the government, is Philip Morris, because Philip Morris did not support the research. So now, somewhere in 2000s or 2012 and 14, some doctors and head and neck doctors, surgeon, they come to realize how come. And I started working in surgery in 2008. So I've been friends with surgeons and nurses that are expert in head and neck kind of thing. And they come to realize there are some young kids, teenagers, that having some neuropathic problem. And they cannot figure it out what it is. But the common denominator is some of these kids has an early device that they use. They have a music therapy where they have this headphone to treat some other illnesses like anxiety, ADHD, those make up a diagnosis that people having this therapy. And most of them are the victim or user, don't say victim, user of those headphones, and they have Bluetooth nowadays as well. I don't know. But the thing is, the doctors and nurses cannot publish these findings or this observation because it's not a research. So this is my take. I don't care if you want to destroy your brain cells with your headphone on, because I'm not sure if it's true, but I still don't like the headphones while we're having an activity. Put it away and then destroy your brain after your free time. I'm not going to tell you that it can really destroy your brain, but that's what we're seeing in our medical field. They're having some neuropathic problem. Research that. If you don't know what neuropathic problem is, the shaking and the twitching of your body, it's up to you guys. But don't use that headphone during that Elevate activity.
In 2016, Apple released wireless Bluetooth earphones called AirPods. Since then, AirPods have made their way into the ears of many COC students. But these trendy earphones pose a problem for professors.
People just sort of put their headphones in and don't pay any attention to what's going on around them, or use it as an excuse to not pay attention to what's going on around them. With the AirPods, it's probably just an easier way to do that, and a little less visible since they're so small.
With hundreds of students walking through campus each day, many of them receive very little interaction due to AirPods.
Like, I hear people talking to me, but I just act like I don't hear them because I have the AirPods, or they might not see them, because when I wear my dreads down, they can't really see that I have AirPods in, so I kind of just pretend to ignore them so I don't have to talk to them.
Opinions on whether AirPods should be worn in class clash between professors and students.
I'm not super thrilled when they're wearing it during class. Sometimes they'll wear just one, but I'm not real happy about it. it, I usually ask them to stop.
It's a cheat way in class too. The teachers never know I have headphones in.
Though it's a good thing AirPods aren't allowed in the classroom because it allows for social interaction.
For Cougar News, I'm Mariah Ahumada.
Force it. There should never, ever, ever be a cell phone in a conference room. I don't care if you're with each other or with your parents, whatever, or you're meeting with your students. Theirs or yours. There should never be a cell phone out in any kind of conference room ever, because the quality of the meetings goes up. And I promise you, even though people will grumble and even though they'll hate it, and even though parents will say, what about an emergency? Here's what you do in an emergency. Call this number, it's the school. Tell us, little Jimmy, something happened to his grandmother, and we'll go get little Jimmy for you. Old school, right? Like, I got it, there's an emergency. That doesn't mean the kid has to have a phone on the whole time, because the negative impact is not worth the benefit. And at the end of the day, how many kids have really been called up because of emergencies on their phones? I mean, you know? In my world, I would love to put chicken wire inside the sheetrock of all the schools so the phones just don't work. And it'd be like, AT&T, you know? Anyway, my point is what'll start to happen is simply by removing the device, including the cafeteria. I'm not talking classroom, I'm talking everywhere. You'll start to see the kids talking and learning how to communicate and learning how to build social relationships, learning how to talk to each other, learning how to talk to their teachers, learning how to talk to their parents. They will acculturate and socialize. There's skills that they're lacking that are manifesting in things like depression, suicide, and school shootings later on in life. Those are the worst case scenarios. The best case scenario is you just hate your life and live your life just going through life thinking life sucks and not really loving your friends. Colleges now are dealing with unprecedented numbers of people dropping out or taking leaves of absences because of depression.
That is the best way to do it, you know? No phones while we're having a gathering. I expect a group will come early on breakfast so we could save a spot. There's 30 of us. We can do it. If other churches can do it, we can do it. I'm jealous with other churches when they have this whole table and it's all one group. And I go there and chit-chat with them. That was amazing. We can do it. Friday, go and check out the activities being offered at the chapel. Aside from basketball, volleyball, and dodgeball, which most of you will be participating, I'm expecting each participant to join at least 2 events. For example, you can participate in basketball and an arm wrestling, volleyball or hula hoop contest, dodgeball and painting contest. However, you cannot say, hey, I got this. I'm already in the dodgeball and basketball, so I don't have to do anything. I still expect you to take something, unless things are very complicated. But I'm expecting 2 events. Please keep our noise level down by 10 o'clock in the evening. You can entrust your chaperone with your gadgets, your cell phone, for safekeeping. And I'm expecting that to all the chaperone as well. I know, I'm not sure how accurate is this one. No, these are the events that you're going to be doing. You have a storytelling, short film, pottery, preaching, time art photograph, ping pong, billiard, arm wrestling, thumb wrestling, square. No, it's amazing. When Cash and Donnie, they were not so active on Saturday, but by Sunday, after I talked to them, I said, hey, you got to enjoy this. And they did. They played all this, the 4 square. Oh, they enjoyed it very well. So I'm expecting Cash will be out of his bubble and he is now more outward. This is good. And I'm expecting him 2 events for him as well. See, I say it directly. I'm not going to lie to you. Those are my expectations. Okay.
Lauren, I have something to tell you. Lauren, can you hear me? Hello? Earth to Lauren, Project Lauren. Can you... Really? Like, that's what you're gonna do? You're gonna ignore me? Like, Lauren, I'm talking to you. Lauren. Low. Whatever.
The last but not the least, how to dress and how to sit. You know, I've seen a lot of video pictures on that Elevate last year, and I just did not really like what I see. You need to have dignity when you dress, you know. The dressing was a few years back, but present yourself appropriately, the way how you sit. Where could you find people sitting up like this, their dirty, filthy shoes is in this chair in the sanctuary where the worship center is, and put the dirty shoes here. They even look like a monkey. And the guys, what Pastor Tim is talking, or there's a video going around on that sanctuary before the nightly event. Most of the guys were sitting here, and they even have a nice tenacity to wave on the camera, as if they're like a gangster sitting down, slouching. Come on. Put some dignity on yourself. Sit down properly. Don't put your filthy shoes in the chair. I know you don't care, but we are a visitor on Point Loma, Nazarene, and people sit on those chairs and you put your feet. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is an international call of a prostitute in Asia. I learned this. You know why I've learned this? Because I am friend of a lot of military men, and that is. And guys, putting your feet, showing your feet of your sole of your shoes for everyone, not a gentleman-like. And that is disappointing to see that Pastor Tim is talking and you are all slanting here. You got your phone. One feet is actually have the tenacity to show his feet right there while our pastor is talking. No. It's not going to happen. That I will react. If I see your filthy behavior, monkey sitting, Yeah, you're gonna hear it. The cleanliness and tidiness and the tardiness. I might not gonna say anything in Elevate, but if you present yourself without any dignity at all, I'm gonna call you out. Sad to say, that's the one that I'm gonna call you out because your filthy shoes should not be showing to anybody. Okay? And if you're a flirt, kind of a youth, come on, respect everyone. When Pastor Tim is talking or you're in a group session, face the speaker, not the boys, not the girls. Act like a gentleman, act like a lady. It's not time. Put some decency in yourself. Come on. You go to the youth group and you're not facing the pastor, you're facing somebody else, and just mingle around, put your feet like kicking someone or something like that. Come on. Not cool. Not cool. Especially we're going to Elevate. We traveled 500 miles and 500 miles back, and all you do is like flirting around. Not cool. Sad to say. The last but not the least, this is not the dating travel. If you have a relationship with somebody, do your private moment, but don't do anything during activity. Yeah. Be a youth. Do the youth group. And I hope this is very clear to everyone.